Gas stations feel different after midnight. The bright island of fluorescent light, the empty highway. I'll be sharing 3 true gas station horror stories from people who worked the night shift and learned that sometimes the scariest things you'll meet aren't ghosts, but other people. Story 1. The Night Window. I worked midnights off Route 7. After 11 p.m., no one came inside. Everything went through a bulletproof night window. It makes you feel safe until you realize you're lit up like a fish tank. A guy in a blue windbreaker walked up at 2 a.m. No car, no bag, just that too friendly smile some men wear like a name tag. He tapped the glass with his knuckle 4 times and asked for the restroom key. Company policy, no restroom after midnight. I said sorry. He held up a key fob and said, "Found this." Our fob was clipped to a retractable cord behind the counter. I checked, still there. He was holding a clone. He pressed it to the glass like a dare. I told him again, no restroom. He didn't argue. He drifted out of frame. On the cameras, he disappeared by the side wall. A minute later, the restroom hallway faucet came on by itself. I called 911. While I waited, the guy came back and showed me a phone with a video feed of our back hallway on it. Our camera angle, our timestamp. Our DVR is in a locked panel. The cameras are hardwired. The officer later said the convex mirror above my head reflected my monitors perfectly. He hadn't hacked anything. He'd filmed my screens from outside. A trucker pulled in, flooded the lot with new light, and the faucet shut off. Police found a strip of adhesive on the inside of the restroom door where a small reader might sit. The fob in his hand would have worked on any reader programmed to the same tone. He didn't steal ours. He copied it by watching and timing the beeps. That tap, tap, tap wasn't a knock. It was practice. I quit that week. I tell people the night window made me feel safe. What it really did was turn me into a display. Story 2, the blue sedan. Wet tires on pavement. Intermittent horn far away. I did nights off I-84. The regulars become your clock. The 12:10 coffee guy. The nurse with 2 energy drinks. The bakery van at 3:30. Then there was the blue sedan that circled the lot every hour. On the 17, it never parked. Sometimes it flashed its highs twice. Sometimes a single horn tap. Sometimes nothing. The same week, the sedan started looping. Roses began appearing on my car before sunrise, tucked under the handle, laid across the wiper, wrapped in napkins from our store. On the 3rd day, the napkin had my name, written with the same dry erase marker we use on cooler doors. The cameras showed the sedan pass. They never showed a door open. One night, a CB bleed came through our store radio. We don't even have a CB, just a phrase cut up by static. Blue 17. Truckers started keeping me company on their brakes. At 3:17, the sedan rolled in without headlights until it hit the canopy. It idled, then eased toward the exit. The driver cracked the window and let a Polaroid fall by the squeegee bucket. It was my car in the lot, shot from above, like from the billboard ladder across the highway. In the corner, nice house. Not my handwriting. I didn't go home. An officer followed me to a locksmith. Later, a bakery worker came in, shaking. The blue sedan had tailed her with highs flashing, horn tapping, then nothing. When we checked her car, the license plate screws were loose, and a cheap tracker was stuck under the lip. After that, I parked 3 blocks away and walked in with a trucker who didn't mind the detour. The sedan circled for a week, then stopped. 2 months later, our DVR logs showed timestamps stuttering on 17 in the early morning hours. My manager said, glitch, and shrugged. Maybe. Or maybe someone taught the machines the same rhythm they taught me. Story 3. Pump 8 at 3:12. Graveyard shifts teach you the station's heartbeat. The doors breathe when the HVAC flips. The canopy lights blink in a sequence you can feel without looking. And every night at 3:12 a.m., our Pump 8 clicked off and back on again. No car, no sale. I logged it as a glitch for a month. The 5th week, a white pickup started showing up around 3:05. It never parked at a pump. It idled in the corner by the dumpster where the cameras had a dead angle thanks to a bent bracket no one bothered to fix. The truck always laved right after the pump 8 glitch. I mentioned it to my manager. He shrugged. Old wiring, ignore it. He'd never worked a midnight in his life. Then a Tuesday rolled in quiet as a church. At 2:58 a.m., a guy came through in a reflective vest with a clipboard. He had the tone, confident, bored. "Night audit," he said, flashing a laminate too fast to read. "Quick filter check on pump 8. You'll see a pressure drop." He said it like a weather report. Neutral, inevitable. I told him we didn't allow maintenance after midnight without a prior work order. He smiled. "There is one," he said, tapping the clipboard. "Check your email." I didn't check anything. I told him to come back at 6 a.m. He didn't argue. He just drifted off toward the dumpster side, like he was taking a phone call. On camera, he disappeared in the blind spot. The white pickup rolled in 2 minutes later and killed its lights. At 3:12, pump 8 clicked. The nozzle display flashed zeros, then error, then settled, like nothing had happened. I stepped out to the curb with the intercom in my hand, made a show of pointing it like a microphone. People intent on doing bad things hate being the center of any stage. 2 men climbed out of the pickup with their hats low and their jackets too clean for the night. They were pretending to work. One carried a tow strap, the other had a crowbar. Not for the register, for the ATM inside the vestibule. That's when everything the old-timers ever told me about night shifts woke up at once. The glitch wasn't a glitch. They'd been testing the breaker on pump 8, killing and restoring power until they knew how the surge popped our cameras into a momentary reboot. 30 seconds of snow every night, long enough to loop a strap around an ATM and yank it into a waiting truck. I hit the panic pedal under the counter and grabbed the long handle we use for the propane cage. I didn't go for the men. I went for the canopy breaker panel and fired every light to full bright. The station blew up from sleepy to noon. I held the mic and made my voice big. "Maintenance, copy. Camera test complete. Keep your faces up for the timestamp." The one with the strap froze. The crowbar guy angled his head toward the pickup, like a dog listening for a whistle. 2 semis were coming down the off-ramp, loud, lights blooming. I waved like I was flagging planes. Truckers know when to play hero. One swung wide into the lot and parked nose to nose with the pickup like a friendly blockade. The other rolled slow across the station entrance and settled sideways. The men with the strap suddenly had a lot of interest in leaving calmly. Crowbar lifted a hand, palm out, universal sign for we're cool, which usually means we're caught. They climbed back in, tried to reverse, realized the trucker in front of them wasn't moving. The driver in the big rig smiled through the glass and lifted his coffee and a toast. I'd never loved a stranger so fast. Cops were there in under 2 minutes, thanks to the panic alarm. The pickup tried to squeeze past the dumpster side and scraped the bollard hard enough to shower orange paint. They got a plate and a strap still half-fed through the bed tie down like a tongue. The men didn't run. They just evaporated into the dark like people who practice exits. When we reviewed footage, you could see the pattern I'd missed. A small magnet taped over the back door's alarm read switch. A gum wrapper folded into the latch so the door never fully seated. Each night, someone had tested a piece, pump, camera, door, tapping us, like a safe to learn the combination. Pump 8 at 3:12 wasn't an accident. It was the metronome for their plan. We replaced the camera bracket. We moved the ATM to a steel frame that bolted into the slab. We added a kill switch by the register that triggered a recorded voice over the canopy speakers. Security cameras active. Police notified. Management installed it for show, It worked for me like a bell works for a dog. 2 weeks later, an envelope showed up addressed to night manager, which I am not. Inside was a single receipt from our store with a pen line drawn under the timestamp 312 and 3 words scrawled across the bottom. You learn fast. Under fluorescence at 3 a.m., the small things are warnings. The tap on glass, the flashing high beams, the pump that clicks when no one's there. If you're out there tonight, trust the pattern you feel in your gut and get home safe. Another pattern complete, another nightmare sewn shut. Until next time, I'll be waiting with needle and thread.